And even if you're having sex with the wife that you get married to, except you've had past sexual distance, you might not know how it is to sleep with someone that has a big this and someone that has a small this. You will not know. So it's what you have that you begin to enjoy. But it's when you've had those past sexual experiences, or you've read wild books, or you've watched wild films, that is when you now come into it and you're now like, oh, this is not big enough, this is not small enough, this is not tight enough, this is not loose enough. If you are inside, if he's the first one, then. But for people that already have past experiences, probably they've been married before, or they've had those experiences before and all that, then they're now the ones that are faced with this issue. So when they are faced with this issue, they will then decide, do I want to walk around it, or do I want to go away?
All right, guys. So this one is going to be very interesting and very brief. I want to ask you directly, how do you uncover sexual integrity without the sex in it?
How do you discover sexual integrity without having sex?
Yes. Like, as a woman now, like, you know, there's some, like, I was talking to a young lady, I think about 2-3 weeks ago, and she was like, I can never marry a man that I have not tasted. Initially, I was thinking, like, is it like strawberry? Is it mango juice? Is it kunuaya? You know? So when I hear ladies say some of these things, like, I believe that there might be an underlying problem that they may have witnessed in other people's marriages that may have failed along the line, or it might just be an issue around the moral bankruptness of course, past generations and future generations that we don't even know anything about, or even the present generation. So I want to know, like, would you fault that statement, and what would be your own remedy, especially in cases where people got married and they found out that they did not carry out the sexual integrity test? That does not mean sleeping around, but I feel that right there.
Sexual integrity, is it not somebody saying that I will not have sex before marriage?
Yes, that's sexual integrity.
That's sexual integrity.
Yes,
so how would you find out that a man that you're about to get married has sexual integrity? Is that he does not ask to sleep with you during the courtship period. So he has passed.
So he has
the
passed
sexual
that,
integrity test.
but
because he did not request to have sex with you.
But I'm looking
and
at...
a woman too did not request to have sex with you. So they've passed sexual integrity.
Okay, they've passed sexual integrity test. Yes. But the point I'm making is to avoid surprises.
When somebody is now has sexual integrity.
When somebody has passed the sexual integrity test, he's not asking for sex. Mm-hmm. But the question now is, can he have good sex?
What is good sex?
What do you mean, what is good sex? Is he potent enough to be in the driving seat of that sexual activity? That's
what
actually
is a driving seat?
That's what I'm asking you. Like, is he potent? How you be asking me that kind of question?
Yes.
You already know what the driving seat is now.
Anybody can be a driver during sex. So what is a driving seat?
No, but you know what I'm talking about. Maybe should I still break it down?
Yes.
But I know you understand me. What I'm saying is, for women that went into marriage and they never necessarily were in a position to feel the erection of a man before marriage, then they go into marriage and they now find out that this person cannot even be erect.
I
know it's the grounds for divorce anyways, but is there a way, I'm just asking, I don't know. Is there a way to tell beyond having, you've even found out that those kind of persons, for example, they may not even have those conversations around, do you rise and fall, things like that, like what's going on over there and all that.
I think, like, for example, before we got married, I remember that there's some times that you used to insinuate.
Okay, insinuate.
Like, we are not having sex, no, but like you insinuate, like, oh wow, when we get married, I'm looking forward to.
Okay, I
project, yes, like
you
project, like, okay, those kind of things.
Yeah.
So for a man, generally, I think because people will say, body no be firewood or whatever, like, not that you're going to have sex, but sometimes, like, emotions might rise. and you would be in a place where probably it will like take like the grace of God to say, no, let us be patient, let us wait, let us uphold sexual integrity.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes, like, if you're in a relationship, I don't know for how long it is for, and
Thank
then
you.
there is no like emotions rising.
That could be a red flag, right?
You know, and there are like stories I've heard of some people that would say that maybe the wife did not even have like a vaginal hole.
Wow.
Have
you? Is that real?
Yes, but they now went for like maybe like surgical procedure to open it up or something. Or sometimes like the man might be the one that might have the issue. Or sometimes maybe there have been past sexual experiences that affect and all those things. So there are like different things that happen. But I think that at the end, like it's about transparency and trust. And sometimes people might not be trusting enough to really open up
on those issues.
Those issues. So I think in relationship, like it's good to not see a relationship as a do or die affair, so that you can be a little bit relaxed to give your partner room to trust you and be vulnerable with you. Because if your partner does not trust you, if they are not vulnerable with you, if they think that it's a do or die affair for you, then they might go ahead. Or if it's a do or die affair for them, they can go ahead with the marriage. And then after that, you then begin to discover some of those things. But at the end, like you used to say, like, is the enjoyment of sexual activities as a result of the size, the wideness or the slimness or the height or the length or breadth of a person's private part? Is it by that? Because if you say it's by that, you see that there are some women that are totally flat, maybe in front or flat at the back, and they still get married to husbands.
They even give birth to children, twins.
So, for example, what did the husband see that made him to continue? And will you say that as he continued, he's not enjoying his sexual activities because the wife has a flat front or a flat back? I'm sure he has found other ways to still enjoy himself with the wife. So for people that probably like their husbands maybe don't have a big this thing or whatever, I don't know how that works, but it's possible that they might find other ways to still enjoy it. But at the end, like, it's a choice. But for people who have had several experiences or several encounters, sexual experiences before marriage, that is when you can now judge that, oh, this is small or this is big. But if you've not had sexual experiences before you got married, then anything they give to you, and if you are not wild in maybe the kind of films you watch or the kind of books that you read, anything your husband gives to you, to be sincere, like,
as far as it's sufficient, as far as it's
when you see it, you're like, oh, this is amazing. You don't even know if this is big. You don't know if this is small because there's no comparison. And even if you're having sex with the wife that you get married to, except you've had past sexual distance, you might not know how it is to sleep with someone that has a big this and someone that has a small this. You will not know. So it's what you have that you begin to enjoy. But it's when you've had those past sexual experiences, or you've read wild books, or you've watched wild films, that is when you now come into it and you're now like, oh, this is not big enough, this is not small enough, this is not tight enough, this is not loose enough. If you are inside, if he's the first one, then. But for people that already have past experiences, probably they've been married before, or they've had those experiences before and all that, then they're now the ones that are faced with this issue. So when they are faced with this issue, they will then decide, do I want to walk around it or do I want to go away? Then that would be their decision. But you will now ask yourself that, do you want to sum up a human being
just by
that particular experience?
I think that's a good place. If you can rephrase that question in a way that people can answer to that question in the comment section, just ask it that way, because I think it's a beautiful question.
Would you want to sum up the entire marriage experience to the sexual potency of your spouse? Is it good, or is it enough? Would you say that as a spouse it's okay to sum up the entire marital experience to that particular thing? Because at the end, that person is a human being. There are several parts to that human being. There's the emotional side, there's the physical side, there's the intellectual side. There are different parts to that human being that you can actually enjoy. And even when you look at the parents that we have that are in their hundreds, that are in their 90s, you ask yourself, do those people still have this physical thing that we are craving for? Most of them at that point is just friendship. And I remember one time I was telling you, I said, my brother, you say, I beg. Let us not enter
now. If you
brother and sister.
If you call me brother at 90, I can almost begin to, this is my sister.
So at the right end,
now, I don't want you to see me as a brother yet.
So you will now ask yourself, what do those old people at that point, what is it that they do that they are still happy with each other? Then you now tell yourself, can I do this even at my young age with this person? Because at the end, the totality of this person is not just this. This person is far more than this.
I'm not going to be adding to everything that you've said. I think this is a good place to leave this video, but it would be nice to know what people think about this perspective. It's a beautiful one, but let's go to the comments and let's see what's going on there.